My name is Rhapsody, and if you haven't seen the last episode, here is your spoiler warning. I'll give you about 5 seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're free! We've done it. We've ascended level 15 with the defect. We have completed the ascension levels for all of the characters. Now we can go back to muddling around in Ascension 1, hunting down a bunch of elites, trying to get as many kills and as high a score as possible. I, weirdly, am super keen to play an Ascension 1 defect. I know I've just gotten done playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 hours of the defect, but I want more. So let's try it. In particular, I want to start muddling around with a couple of the builds that were a little more difficult to get off the ground in high ascensions. 14 max HP for 99 gold. I mean, that's way better than the price I would be paying for a mango. Enemies in the next 3 combats have 1 HP. It's extremely impossible for me to snipe an elite with that because I've definitely got 3 combats. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I've definitely got 3 combats on all paths before I can get to an elite. I could remove a card, try and thin this down, see if I can get like a claw deck going on. Or I could just go for the starting relic. There's only one option here I don't at all care for. Oh, that's not remove a card, it's add a random rare card to my deck. You know what? To find my run, I'll build around it. Oh! That's a super interesting one. Creative AI. Okay, so in my honest and humble opinion, I am H_HO. The builds that I want to go for with the creative AI is literally just to rely entirely on it. Just build up my defense, play creative AI, and then wait until I win. So in the spirit of this, hang on, we'll be able to kill everything except for Gremlin Knob with reasonable ease doing that? Because as we play those defensive cards, the Gremlin Knob is going to get, just a touch dicey. Alright, we'll see, we'll see. I'm playing a Zap here rather than the Strike because it gives me the possibility of utilizing Dual Cast for a bunch of extra damage later on. Like here, if I would want to kill the enemy. My phone is still not on silent. Whoopsie. Let's get that on silent. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Double Energy versus Streamline versus Ball Lightning. I could take Streamline as just a value pickup that I use to get through the Gremlin Knob. Because otherwise I'm just going to bleed HP against that Gremlin Knob. I do, however, have an early Ancient Potion, which is going to give me the ability to avoid vulnerability from that Gremlin Knob handily. That double energy, though, that could accelerate. That could accelerate me, allow me to play some of the powers that I might otherwise not want to play. That said, it's going to fulfill a similar role to Recycle for me in the acceleration of my energy. However, it won't fulfill the role that Recycle would play in my deck of being able to filter out powers that I don't want to play. There's actually a lot more of an interesting decision here than it looks like it would be. I'm going to pass up all of them and try and focus on the general idea that I outlaid at the start, but I could easily see most of those being the correct decision. Dual Cast Strike, and then just wait 2 turns. See, I do use Dual Cast occasionally, and only explicitly when it is definitely correctly the correct choice. Reinforced Body is exactly the kind of thing for which we are looking here. I would love to take Lantern. Gosh, wouldn't that be a lovely world? Extra energy on that first turn. Get that creative AI out early. Instead, I'm probably just going to be removing possibly a Defend. Because if I remove a Strike, I am actually dooming myself against the Gremlin Knob. I could also just take a Rip and Tear as like a Gremlin Knob killer. No, respect the purity of the deck, Ryan. 10 incoming. Alright. I gotta maintain as much of my HP as I possibly can because I am going to need it. Was there any way that wasn't gonna work for me? No. Okay, there was no ordering mishap there. Meteor Strike. Well, boy howdy, nice to see you. I do not currently have the capability to play you. It would be an incredibly optimistic pick to take you. I'm not thickening up my deck for stack. That is something that I actually do want to look into. Being a defect build where I thicken up my deck so that I can make the best usage of both stack and aggregate. However, I don't want to be a thick deck daddy. I don't want to do it. Just let me be the thin deck daddy I was born to be. Not too pleased about our opening hand there. Because that would have been the perfect turn for a creative AI. Alright. Copying 3 damage on the chin against a really early Slaver is not that bad. Power Potion, Rip and Tear Hologram Stack. You know what? I will take this Rip and Tear that's on offer. Because I am terrified about the possibility of getting a particularly bad elite. This one will be fine though. Oh, especially with a storm now. Hell yes. I'm also actually going to drink my Power Potion. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Come on and buffer. Oh, defrag. I should definitely defrag, probably double defend. I take the 8 here, however I get to deal another 9 when I evoke a lightning orb. I'm gonna heat sinks before using reinforced body, so I allow myself to take 4 here, but again deals 9 on the back end. And then by zapping before I evoke, I get to do as much damage as possible and have as few ongoing orbs in my orb slot as is possible. Vajra is actually going to be particularly handy with the Rip and Tear because it benefits twice from the extra strength. Echo Form against Leaf. The thing is, I think I get Echo Form eventually from Creative AI, so I think I just wait. I think Echo Form isn't necessary here. I think I need to defend myself. I think that's actually way more important for me. I'll upgrade the Creative AI so it's a lot less costly to get out there. I'll use the Strength Potion as well as the Attack Potion here. And we'll see where that gets us. Probably going to use the Ancient Potion here, but I'm still not entirely sold on that one. Yeah. No, I'm going to kill next turn. I don't need to use it. Beautiful. Shuriken! Ooh, do I pivot? Because that's a Shuriken and a Vajra. Our 2 relics want us to pivot, but the Creative AI and the Reinforced Body don't. I mean, Reinforced Body can be considered a value card, so can Leap. Do I pivot? It would be pivoting to a 0-cost attack build, or low-cost attack build in general. None of those that I particularly want to pick up at the moment. Mummified Hand. Well, nope, we definitely don't pivot. Whenever you play a power, a random card in your hand costs 0 for the rest of the turn. Mummified Hand, as well as Creative AI, is bonkers. Yes, that's right, bonkers. I could take White Noise, or I could take card removal here. White Noise is actually going to function as an energy accelerant. When upgraded, it's going to cost 0 to put a 0-cost power in my hand. I play that 0-cost power, and that 0-cost power makes something else that doesn't cost 0 in my hand cost 0. Flash of Steel is also actually really good here because of the fact that it does a little bit of extra damage, but also it gives me the possibility of building extra strength from the Shuriken. And card removal is good because it allows me to get to my Creative AI much earlier. I'm going to go with the card removal. And I'm going to remove a strike. I think now that we have this mummified hand, anything except for a power build is a little bit wonky as far as ideas go. I'll take the 100 gold here, and then I'm going to remove another card in the next space. I don't want to take the regret. Now, this constantly happens. Every single time I turn down taking the Curse of Doubt or the Curse of Regret right before a shop where the money that I would have gotten for taking that curse would pay for the removal of that curse. Every single time someone says, Rhapsody, you should have just taken it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good thing. Not really, though. Because it also costs me the opportunity to remove a different card instead. Okay. Strike that backline. Dual cast. And zap and wait for the enemy to meet their demise. Hologram versus Sweeping Beam versus... Nope. Self-repair is actually a really good power, and I quite like it. Time to remove another card instead. What? Did you think I was going to do something consistent with what I said? Have you met me? That's not how I roll. Usually how I roll is more of a, like, I tuck my arms in near my elbows and just lean forward. Let's get that creative AI out there. So we've got 2 of those going on. We may just get through this entire thing by playing powers. Definitely looks like it at the moment. Ooh, another creative AI. Didn't end up costing little. That's fine. Cool-headed plus reinforced body is actually going to protect us here. Good lord. Okay, thank you for lowering the cost of electrodynamics there. Because now I can reinforce body again for a full defense. We'll definitely dual cast that lightning orb. Because it's getting worse every single turn. Okay. And beautiful. We're actually going to perfect this Lagvulin fight. The buffer's finally turned up. I love it. Blue Candle. Curse cards can now be played. That doesn't mean that you can pick up curses with impunity, however, because curses still cost you the initial draw to pick them out of your deck. Defrag? I think we take Defrag here because we can now take most powers. Most powers or all powers? We can definitely take Heat Sinks because it will actually fix our draw problem, our quote-unquote draw problem. We have inconsistent draw because we're basically waiting on Heat Sinks from Creative AI. We can definitely take Storm because that will accelerate the damage of our build. We don't need to take Defrag. We don't need to take Defrag. Yeah. The metric, by the way, is not, is this card good? It's, is this card better than not having this card? Is this card better than keeping my deck thinner so that I can draw my other cards more regularly? That's the metric something needs to be passed for inclusion. Ooh, this could be a problem if we don't get a buffer in this turn. That's not a buffer. I did upgrade my reinforced body, but that's only a defense for 27 here. Unfortunately, playing my 2 powers here won't actually lower the cost of reinforced body. It's never going to have its cost lowered. Oh well. Now, static into machine into rip and tear looks good for me. Perfect. There's our second electrodynamic, so if we can get both of them in play, we'll be pretty happy about it. Okay, I don't actually want to split you this turn. I want to split you the turn after. Hey, there's our second electrodynamics. And the static discharges did end up making one another cost less. Beautiful. So now that I have 2 electrodynamics out there, it will double up on single targets. which is what I wanted the entire time. That was my master plan. Make sure I get that slimed out of there while I can. Oh, they haven't even split yet. I didn't bother calculating that, but I'm glad it turned out in that fashion. Now that there's more than one enemy on the field, though, playing extra stacks of electrodynamics will do nothing. Beautiful. Didn't manage to perfect that fight, so I can't imagine that my score is going to be any good at all. That's okay. We could take Reboot basically as a second dig. It's quote-unquote draw. It's close. Yeah. We'll take it. Sozu. Need the extra energy so that I can play my X-Cos cards and definitely play all of my powers with impunity. The funny thing is, however, that we don't need much extra energy courtesy of the modified hand, especially when we start picking up other powers, especially low-cost powers. So we can probably get away with just taking Sozu and ignoring the next energy relic that comes up. So again, hunting elites, I see a 3-path. I see exactly 1 3-path, so I'm kind of aligned with that. Let's go for it. Oh, not a great opener for us. That said, we do get creative AI in our opening hand with absolute insane frequency. Deck of 12 cards. Who'da thunk it? Since I can no longer gain any potions, I should hold this ancient artifact for like a really useful time, not, you know, use it at the first sign of usefulness, which would be against the frailty this enemy invokes. I'm gonna go for the damage run, 3 extra block. So what have we here? We have 2 strikes, reinforced body. No, we'll just reinforce body. Because you're not defending this turn, so I've got 25 to work through next turn, and we've got that. Beautiful. Beam cell no, thank you. This is actually a bit more difficult of a decision than it looks like, because in the next space, I could either remove a card or pick up a power. Because there's always a power available in your shop, and I know that my card removal counter is currently at 150. There are a lot of relics in the game that would have no effect on us right now. Yeah, we don't want static discharge. It's card removal. I'm now regretting taking the rip and tear, but safe than sorry, right? I left energy on that turn because it didn't matter either way. I could have just played out the rest of my cards, but it wouldn't have mattered either way. I could totally just rip and tear here. I'll loot before I do anything. Fine, I'll play defensively. I was thinking, what if I zap dual cast, try and hit the midline, but no. That's just way too optimistic. I think my favorite thing is how few lightning orbs I currently have generated. Definitely gonna need a storm in this deck eventually to start getting those out. Okay. That'll get it done. That was always going to be one of the worst fights on this floor for us. Chill versus Leap. Chill versus Leap. Chill versus Stack versus Claw. This deck is quite thin, and it only gets thinner. We could theoretically take a Claw. I don't think we do, mind, but we theoretically could. At this point, this is showing the strength of the Vajra Shuriken reboot build that we have the fundamentals of. But that said, we've got AoE fights on this floor that are going to be particularly problematic for us. I want chill. Just as a defensive card. I should have played the dual cast before I generated those orbs. I would have got an extra lightning strike out of it. That's my bad. Electrodynamics is a great pickup here. I definitely have to play Zap because of it as well. We'll play the zero cost defend before we reboot. Come on, and... Funnily enough, I was going to ask for Static Discharge, but I didn't actually want Static Discharge. What I really would have wanted is Storm, which just turned up. BRB, I have to quickly end this episode so I can go buy a lottery ticket. Well, I mean, now that we have Storm. Come on, and self-repair sometime soon, please. Ooh. Has he bitten off more than he can chew? Probably. Boy howdy, sure looks like it. Nothing down in that first turn as well. You're going to be attacking on this turn with the extra buff. Oh, boy. Got very little directed damage. It's a 1 in 3 that I strike this gremlin and then they die. Well, I'm alive on exactly 1 HP. It's the perfect amount to have. Did it have to hit the back line? Sorry. I meant, did it have to hit the back line twice? We just burned, right? 18. Yeah, I'm barely even protected against the gremlin wizard here. That's the worst. The rip and tear that hit the backline twice there made that extraordinarily difficult on us. Damn it. Let's try that again. We had the mummified hand as well. Oh boy. All right. Let's go with my star. My way or the highway. Remove 2 cards. Let's get some claws in this deck. Let's go. Let's make it a rampage deck, but with claws. More elites or fewer elites? Earlier shops or later shops? Let's go for this one. This actually gives us a choice in the midline of which of those options we want to go for. Even though we are weakened, double strike in the next hand was guaranteed, and I knew I was going to be able to kill with that in the zap. Hologram, yep. It's optimistic, but we are going to have a claw, so... What? Game? I just did that one. This last episode. Last episode? No, it's earlier in this episode. Bronze scales, whenever you take damage, deal 3 back. I mean, that's bag of marbles, but that's loot, but that's bag of marbles. All right, I'm still going down my line. Oh, there's Storm. No. Oh boy. Yeah, we're gonna have difficulty fighting a many elites. I'm gonna do it anyway, because I don't know what's good for me. It's gonna be much more annoying. Alright. Wanted to use the dual cast super early so that I could decide which of the front and back I was gonna be focusing. Unfortunately, they both started on the same HP. And then... lost the same HP. So it didn't really help me at all. Not bad defensive turn. So we came into this fight with 63, 61? 60 something out of 68. And it looks like we are going to leave with not that much less. Single strike for the... Ooh. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you for making that up to me. Oh, that dual cast. Anchor, start each combat with 10 block. That's actually really handy alongside the bag of marbles because it means you can just go all out aggressive in the opening turn. Speaking of going all out aggressive in the opening turn, let's remove a defense. Streamline. I mean, definitely has a place. I mean, the place isn't in my current build, but it's there-ish. Okay. We'll just wake them up with the maximum amount of damage and give myself the possibility of using my hologram on my first streamline. Oh no, because my deck has 9 cards. The hologram's not going to hit the streamline unless they're in the same hand as one another. Should have thought about that one. You know what? I'm going to defend hologram defend. Because now I get a couple turns here. And I'm pretty certain over the course of those, I can chunk in enough damage to get the kill. It'd look very similar to that. Art of War. If you don't play any attacks during your turn, gain an extra energy next turn versus hologram versus bias, cognition, and cold snap. I'm going to take the second hologram. Just waiting on that claw. 1 claw. That's all it's going to take, game. Strawberry. Upon pickup, raise your max HP by 7. Remember when I said I was going to use this run to try and do builds that I don't usually get to do, and then immediately went to a claw build, which is one that I abused through the entirety of my ascension levels? Remember that? That's good fun. Take none of those. Third elite. All right, let's go. Could have been slightly better. Could have been precisely 1 streamline better. Streamline, hologram back to the streamline, and then streamline for the kill. Bottled Lightning. Upon pickup, choose a skill card. At the start of each combat, that card will be in your opening hand. Let's see what we get from this. I mean, if I'm going an aggressive build, we'll take a Melter just as a value pick. Is there any skill card here that I actually definitely want in my opening hand? I mean, the closest is probably a Zap. See, the thing is, I want my holograms after the cards that I want to bring back with said holograms. So getting my holograms early is a nightmare situation. Hologram back the Streamline for the kill. We do need to upgrade Streamline as well as both of our holograms. We'll take a Beam Cell because vulnerability is cool, kids. Who's our boss? Ooh, that's actually going to be a problem. Ooh, boy howdy. Yikes. We might need to rest twice before we go there. Because we're about to take a bunch of damage. I'm going to Smith Beam Cell and then rest likely in the space directly for the boss. Come on, and hologram. There we go. Thank you for the streamline. I think I'm dead if I don't rest here. Alright, let's just get a bunch of vulnerability going. I was thinking I was going to get a bunch of lightning orbs going, but this actually suits me a lot better. What's the matter? Couldn't have Melter in that hand with Streamline? Kinda gotta play a copy of Streamline there. Lower its cost. Yep, that's some damage. Looks a hell of a lot like it, at least. So 9 goes in. 9, 8. 9 and 8 is 17. Complement deals. Another 9 is 26. I think that's our maximum damage this turn, right? 18 plus... It's 26. Zap actually does less than the strike here. It's I think 1 less. Got the enemy to transform that turn, and we have a Melter in hand. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. We may need to use the Fairy Potion to get through this fight, but we will get through this fight. 21 damage in the next turn is not inconceivable. And we get to keep our Fairy Potion. Hell yeah. Core Surge versus Bias Cognition versus Thunderstrike. I'm thinking I take the Core Surge here. That artifacting is actually extraordinarily helpful against a lot of the fights on the next floor, but more so, it's a lot of damage for a single attack. I do want extra energy. Fine. I'm trying to really explore different builds because it's not really imperative that I win anymore. I beat the Ascensions. I'm fine. So I want to try some different things. Just not, you know, thickness. Good old Melter. Melter's also going to be pretty good against the Parasite on this floor. I don't know if I take another Beam Cell, especially considering how thin the deck is and the fact that I've already got 1 already upgraded in there. I could easily and pretty happily take a Molten Egg here. Yeah, doing it. Any attack card picked up from this point on will be immediately upgraded, which means all of these bites that I just put in my deck are immediately upgraded. Upgrade all my strikes and defense. That upgrades to defense. I don't know about that one. I think I might actually just start removing all of the defense in this deck and go as aggressive as I possibly can. I don't know if it's going to work, but that's tomorrow's problem. Today's problem is how many bites can I get done? 3. Is out 3. Okay. Let's hologram back a bite. Then we'll hologram back another bite. Play those bites frequently enough, I might just be able to heal myself all the way back up. Which would look a lot like that. A block potion, FTL recursion. We're definitely taking FTL here, right? Yeah. No downside to it because we don't really draw into our FTLs. Our holograms are kind of like okay. I want to upgrade Streamline. I don't know if Elite Hunting is the right thing to do with this build, but it's definitely the thing I want to do with this build. Alright, I can hologram back that FTL and get another draw from it. And I'm also going to use a block potion here. I mean, it didn't save me a ridiculous amount of HP, only 6, but still. That's enough for it to be handy. Good lord. Oftentimes, I'm just super impressed when I run a deck that just has a lot of aggression in it at how viable, I guess, they can be. We already have Anchor. We probably don't need Boot Sequence. Fission is for a longer deck, and White Noise. I'm sad to turn you down, buddy, but that's a thumb down from this Gladiator. Matroshka, the next 2 chests you open contain 2 relics, excluding boss chests. And there's no curses for me, thank you very much. Especially because I wouldn't even get the money from it. Oh god, I didn't even remark upon it at the time, but Thread and Needle is going to be ridiculous for us. We don't even block ourselves. So... okay, hang on. 15. It would take 5 turns worth of this Zap being active before it's better than this Melter. I'm going to hologram back FTL just because I want the draw. Not the card I wanted to draw, but... I mean, if I do want to perfect this fight... got 8 there, gain another 5. If I gain 10 off of that, that's a full block. Sure. Oh, wow. I actually keep the decks, of course, because of the artifacting. I didn't even think about that at the time, but of course that's the case. And perfected. Whetstone upon pickup. Upgrade 2 random attacks. Probably going to hit... Core Surge Melter, because there's literally nothing else in the deck it can hit right now. Oh, look, it hit Core Surge and Melter. Who'd have thunked it? It's time to start upgrading these holograms. Spare some coin? Yeah, sure. You can have all of the money I have. I'm just generous that way. It's Core Surge, Bite, Bite, Zap. Not even gonna get the hologram out there. Ooh, we're not even confused. Love it. I need some 0 costs in my deck other than the Beam Cell, and I know that upgrading Zap will give me the possibility of getting that. But still, Zap and Dual Cast are some of the weakest cards in our deck right now. I don't know if I even want to upgrade them. I kind of want to remove them. I don't know where I'm going to get the opportunity to remove them, though. That's our big problem right now. Alright, this fight is probably going to go long enough that I do actually want to get that second Lightning Orb out there. Okay. Let's use that Speed Potion and then a Core Surge so that I can hold on to that Dex. I only need to play 1 hologram here. Beautiful. In order to be fully defended. Ooh, FTL's actually one of our strongest cards. So is Streamline. Well, thanks for taking them, because effectively what you've just done is handed me my best cards. Thank you. Ooh, 28. I don't think it's particularly likely that we manage to get out of this one. That is to say, without taking damage. Oh well. That's more than fine. I've gotten myself into a position where I don't believe a single Hyper Beam can take me out. Yeah, 51. It's not enough. As much as I want to bounce Streamline back twice this turn, it's probably more important that I bounce Beam Cell back twice so that I can remove the artifacting charges and then start working through. Easy. Drop that Zap. 26 incomings. No big deal. Actually gonna hologram back the FTL. There's a lot of cards in my deck that I wanted to draw. That wasn't one of them, though. Enemy's got 26 incoming. I'm defending for 23. I think my best recourse is actually to double attack here. I've already lost the perfect. You can lose the perfect by 1 HP. You can lose the perfect by 9,000 HP. As long as you have any HP left at the end of the fight, it's fine. You're good. Reboot would totally work here. None of those will, though. Shame. Definitely not Inserter. I actually am concerned that the Black Star might be the best option for me. 5 max HP and 30 gold. I don't get the 30 gold. So 5 max HP. I obtain 1 card that I'm almost certainly going to turn down. I upgrade 1 card. How many cards in my deck are to upgrade that are actually super impactful to upgrade? None, really. Like, they're not actually that great. Like, the amount that they will do is probably less than if I remove them and just more consistently draw my other cards. Yeah, sure. This is probably only going to be like 1 or 2 extra relics on this floor, but let's go for it. Oh, wow. There is a 4 elite path over here on the left. So it's 4 extra relics. Hell yeah. Perfect. I knew I was defended against the frontliner anyway, so may as well attack one of the ones that was about to start defending. Alright, we'll be taking 7 damage this turn, but we've still got Beam Cell left in the deck as well as another hologram. I have to use the hologram first, don't I? Alright. We'll Beam Cell. I can play another card before I... Okay, cool. I played them in that order to give myself the possibility of drawing into the streamline. That said, didn't matter either way. Second Beam Cell still probably too much. What defends itself on this floor? Time Eater has a defensive turn. Second hologram is probably too much right now as well. Nope, not immediately going to the boss. I've got all these relics that I want to get. Okay, well... Zap is already in my opening hand courtesy of the Bottled Lightning, so I can't actually remove it. Get a defend out of there. Let's try this all-aggression deck that we've kind of already painted ourselves into the corner of. Okay. Pull out an FTL. And double bite will do it. Little dabble do ya. 59. Still probably out of range for... No, it's not. Right? Okay, you know what? Let's gamble. Come on! Every time! I knew the worst case scenario was I got hit once and then they would die against the bronze scales, which is why I was so fine with gambling there, but come on! What was that? With so much low cost in our build, we could easily add some draw in here. Just a thought. I'm almost entirely defended on this opening turn, and I'd really appreciate if I could lower the cost of that streamline down to 0. Oh, no, wait, I am entirely defended. I hadn't counted the defense that was going to be provided to me courtesy of my... Here we go. Load it up in the brain, Ryan. exactly what I wanted there. At the very least, I did get to keep the vulnerability up, and I know that I've got Hologram Streamline in my next stand. It's pretty good. Alright. I may actually end up killing this turn. Yeah, I will. Hell, I also get to heal a ridiculous amount. Lantern, gain energy on the first turn of each combat, as well as the Happy Flower. Every 3 turns, gain an energy. That's actually extremely powerful. Quite pleased about it. Man of my word, I'm probably going to try and hunt every single elite. Was focusing on the backline is primarily because I want to prevent the dazed being added rather to my deck. Let's hologram back the beam cell so that we can actually kill with these 3 bites. A strange game. The only winning move is not to play. Gotta get those zaps back, I guess. Unfortunate position in the deck for that zap to be. Hopefully I get the hologram in the next turn. Really? Wow, they're perfectly far enough away from one another to be just an absolute pain. Alright. Play it for no defense there. Play it not to get zapped back either. If we were getting them in, like, a reasonable order... then by now, we would have had so many orbs up. And dual cast is a kill. Beautiful. Fairy in the bottle? Okay, hell yeah. I'm also going to take a go for the eyes. It's our first weaken. And they are pretty important. This is also going to be a really rough fight for us. Like, extraordinarily rough. Pretty happy with how that first turn went, though. Not pleased with the fact that I now have 2 burns in my deck and 2 in my discard pile. Get that beam cell back out here. Oh, this turn's not gonna be fun. Ouch. And then... that's okay, that'll do it. Beautiful. Data Disc as well as the Ancient Tea Set, these are going to have less of an impact. The Ancient Tea Set, whenever you enter a rest site, start the next combat with 2 extra energy, as well as the Data Disc, start each combat with +1 focus. I could take Sweeping Beam here, actually, quite happily. The card draw totally fits into the deck right now because of the amount of extra energy that we get. Runic Dodecahedron. If your HP is full, gain energy at the start of each turn, as well as the Regal Pillow, heal an additional 15 HP when you rest. Well, we're on maximum HP for, like, a millisecond a lot of the time. That said, look at all that extra energy we just had in that turn. Hell. Yeah, I don't have defensive cards in the deck, so... well, I've learned how I win here, or rather survive. It's just feed off of the enemy as much as is humanly possible. Go for the eyes is going to be super handy here. I probably don't want to redraw it though, so we will FTL before we do anything here. Awesome. That's a kill. The Dreamcatcher. Whenever you rest, you may add a card to your deck, as well as the Singing Bowl, of course. It's ridiculous. Meteor Strike. Meteor Strike is really interesting. If we ever play it once, it's pretty good. I'm gonna take the Meteor Strike. And we get to play it this turn. Now we need something to do with all this energy. Should have considered that first, I think. Oh boy. Yeah, going to need to rest before the boss battle. Should have used a feed there. Gambler's Brew, discard as many cards as you'd like and then draw that money. I'm frankly amazed that we got this far. I thought this was going to be a suicidal kind of run. I mean, overall, it may well prove to still have been a suicidal run, but damn, we got a lot further than I thought we were going to. Okay. 13, sure. What do I want to bring back here? Probably Streamline, just lower its cost again. Sure. I mean, you're on half HP. We haven't been touched. In fact, we've mostly healed out of this fight. Should have done the dual cast at the very start there. That would have been the optimal ordering. Unfortunately, now we're going to start regretting our life. Well, for the sake of the fun and happy content, now we're going to start regretting. Let's beam cell before we hologram. I actually want to bring back the go for the eyes, weaken them up. Yeah, it'll help me survive this turn. Okay, 22. Single bite was going to keep me defended this turn. I mean, these two fairies rather in a bottle, are perfect. Again, should have used the bite there instead. Oddly Smooth Stone, started combat with 1 dex. Pen Nib, every 10th attack you play deals double damage. That's actually quite helpful for us. Ancient Potion, probably better than a Gambler's Brew for us. I could try and make an argument for Rip and Tear, but I'm not going to. We don't have extra strength in the builds. 18 damage. And it's okay, but it's not necessary. Alright, we're defended against you, so we'll target your friends instead. Now, what can I bring back that... probably just... Actually, Bite. I could probably just full heal off this fight if I manage them correctly and make sure that, like, 1's coming up every turn and then 2 are coming down every turn. That's gonna be, like, a rough management to do, but... I could see a world in which it works. Obviously not the world in which we currently live, because... Ow! I've just got to get them all near low HP, and then I can start doing it. Mm-hmm. Come on and heal. Oh no, you're also going to attack me. Yeah, I did that wrong. Oh well. Conserve battery could be utilized to get that meteor strike out there, as well as just being a reasonable block. It's also 12 for us because of the oddly smooth stone. Fine. Fine. Good time to show up, Melta. Good timing. Perfect. I was actually about to ask if I could get exactly what I just got, which is to say extra read all about it. The conserve battery as well as 2 bytes. Do I put a second streamline in here for extra damage? No. I need card draw. Compile driver. It's like possibly a maximum of 2 card draw if we have a zap, and the zap would have to be after the meteor strike, because otherwise if we play meteor strike, it's just going to exhaust that. You know what? I think I'm still going to take it, because it's my last opportunity to get card draw, right? Very few things that I would want to rest. Do I take creative AI as just like a win condition? Yep, you know what? I'm doing it. We have the mummified hand. It'll be really good for us. But at the same rate, I am a little saddened that I diluted my win condition so significantly here at the very end. Right, that's a weakening effect that you've got going on as well. Is that weakening or... No, that's draw reduction. I don't want that to happen to me either, so... Wrong hand for you, bud. Let's hologram back that FTL. Get on my card draw game. Ugh. I did that wrong. I should have taken... I actually don't know what I should have taken now. All I know is that only having 2 cards I can play this turn was a problem. Beam cell, and then you know what? Compile driver for 30 damage is pretty reasonable. You're not purging, so I'll actually just bring back a beam cell and play it again. I can probably play 6 cards next turn, so that shouldn't be too much of a hassle. I can definitely play 6 cards this turn, and I can play that Meteor Strike as well. And we Storm to lower the cost of the Meteor Strike. Now, when I said we can definitely play 6 cards this turn, I forgot that I was going to have to use FTL at the start if I wanted to do that. But the thing is, if FTL then drew something with an associated cost, I wouldn't have been able to guarantee that Meteor Strike was the one that I hit with the Mummified Hand effect. So this turn, what do I want to do? Well, this turn, the most important thing I can do is play Loop and Zap. This is so I have 2 different types of orb out there so that my compile driver is much more effective. Ah, speaking of compile driver being much more effective, there's my compile driver. Let's hope it's much more effective. Okay, so if I bite this turn... No, I streamlined. I definitely streamlined. See, now I'm left on 1 HP. I've got these 2 fairy potions, so they're, you know, as potent as they'll ever be. I could hologram back either... Oh, it's obviously Meteor Storm. Hologram back Meteor Storm. Meteor Storm for 90 damage. And then just let the lightning finish that off. So that was a really interesting run. We didn't end up using either of the fairy potions, but God, that was a weird build. I liked it. 911 as the final score. Not that many score modifiers, but an incredibly intriguing build. Not that many score modifiers, but the reason the score was still relatively high is because I hunted so many elites. Just a wild amount of elites. That's when I feel really, really solid with a character, when I can pick them up, put them on Ascension 1, and then just track down the line of every single elite and still definitely feel pretty good about it. Not definitely win, but feel like I have a way to have won. For the moment, though, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.